HOA banned my Christmas lights display, so I invited the local news to cover it. A fresh layer of snow blankets the ground, reflecting the warm glow of my brand new Christmas display. Icicle lights drape the porch, reindeer figures twinkle on the lawn, and a glowing Santa waves from the rooftop. It's festive. It's harmless. It's beautiful. But then, a car screeches to a stop. A pair of doors slam. Richard Calloway and Greg stomp toward me like they're about to make an arrest. What the actual hell do you think you're doing, Mason? He waves a crumpled HOA handbook in my face. I sent you 2 notices. 2. Yet here you are, like some stubborn jackass, acting like the rules don't apply to you. Merry Christmas to you too, Calloway. Do you think this is funny? You're breaking a clear rule, dude. It's not just a rule, it's the rule. No exterior holiday displays past November 30th, period. I read the handbook. And yet, Mrs. Thompson's front yard looks like the goddamn North Pole. Mrs. Thompson is grandfathered in. Grandfathered in? That's some convenient bullshit, isn't it? Greg steps closer, chest puffed out, trying to intimidate me. Look, smartass. Take this crap down before I call the board, and have them fine your ass so hard you'll be selling those lights just to pay us. Calloway smirks, adjusting his gold HOA lapel pin, because of course, he has one. Or we could just skip the fines and go straight to liens. Ever had one of those? They're a bitch. I exhale slowly. These guys think they can scare me. They think I'll cave. And what if I don't? Then we'll make your life a fucking nightmare. Greg grins, but I don't flinch. Yeah. Well, I hope you like cameras. A beat. Calloway's expression shifts. What? I gesture to my porch, where a security camera is blinking red. Smile. You're being recorded. And if you find me, I'll be taking this video straight to the local news. A tense silence. Calloway's face twists with rage. Greg's smirk vanishes. This guy's a real prick, Rich. Do you think some local news reporter gives a damn about your shitty decorations? I think they give a damn about HOA power trips. And I'm guessing you two don't love being the next viral assholes on Facebook, do you? Calloway's eye twitches. For the first time, he's not sure if he's winning. Greg mutters something under his breath, kicking a chunk of snow. You're making a big mistake. Nah, you did, when you picked the wrong guy to mess with. Calloway tightens his grip on his little HOA handbook. He hurls it at my feet. Greg spits onto my driveway, and they both turn back toward their car. You want to play games? Fine. Let's fucking play. He jerks his car door open, slams it shut, and peels off down the street, leaving tire marks on the fresh snow. I watch them go, my hands clenched into fists. Game on. Got it. We're keeping the fire burning. No cold moments, just high-stakes confrontations, rising tension, and the HOA getting nastier. Buckle up. This is war. A crisp morning. My Christmas lights are still up, untouched, glowing faintly under the early winter sun. I step outside in my robe, coffee in hand, and my stomach drops. A fresh HOA violation notice is nailed to my mailbox with a thick, rusty screw. Not taped. Nailed. I yank it off. The paper's already damp from the frost, but I can read the giant, bold red text. Fine issued, $500. Remove display immediately or face additional action. Jesus Christ. A soft shuffling noise. I turn my head. Mrs. Thompson, my elderly neighbor, peeks through her curtains. Our eyes meet. She jerks the blinds closed. I exhale sharply and storm back inside. I drop the paper on the counter, pacing. My phone sits next to it, screen glowing, open to my camera feed. Last night's conversation with Calloway and Greg is saved in crystal clear audio. You want to play dirty? Let's go. I grab my phone and dial my lawyer. I approach the communal mailbox area, my HOA fine still clutched in my hand. A few neighbors are already there, whispering. When they see me, they go quiet. Oh, hi Mason. Is everything okay? Peachy. Just got another bullshit fine. A silence. People look away, suddenly very interested in their mail. Then Frank, a retired firefighter, steps forward. A man who doesn't tolerate crap. Did they nail yours too? I stop. My grip tightens. You too? Frank nods, then points toward another house down the street. A newer family, like me. A woman stands on her porch, looking at her mailbox with an expression of disbelief. She holds up her notice. They doubled mine. A slow realization creeps in. My laptop is open. My desk is covered in documents. HOA bylaws, county property codes, screenshots of other decorated houses not being fined. On my screen, an email draft sits half-written. Subject: HOA harassment media inquiry. A cursor blinks over the words. I believe my HOA is engaging in selective enforcement and retaliation. I have video evidence and multiple witness accounts. I hover over send. Then, a sudden knock at the door. Hard. Aggressive. I freeze. I peer through the peephole. It's Greg. I open the door just a crack. Lose something? Just checking in. HOA business. Filing harassment under HOA business now. Nah, man. Just keeping things smooth. Nobody likes a troublemaker. His tone is too easy. His stance was too relaxed. This isn't a warning, it's a threat. Go fuck yourself, Greg. For the first time, his smirk slips. Just a little. Oh, you're gonna regret this. I slammed the door and his face lock it. And this time, I hit send. I wake up to something far worse than a fine. This isn't just about the lights anymore. They're coming to my house. My fucking property. A fresh wave of rage rolls through me. I march to the HOA office, fists clenched. The HOA office is a sterile, fluorescent-lit box. Calloway sits behind his desk, a smug look on his face. Greg leans against the wall, arms crossed. Something wrong, Mason? Do you think you can steal my house over Christmas lights? Oh, we don't want that. But rules are rules. Greg snickers. Hope you've been real careful with your own rules, Calloway. Because I have an old list of violations under your name. His face hardens. I hold up my phone, flipping through images of his unapproved modifications. Let's see how the board and the county's zoning office feel about that. For the first time, he hesitates. A whisper campaign spreads. Neighbors murmur in driveways. I get cautious nods from people who wouldn't have dared a week ago. Then, an envelope slides under my door. Inside, a handwritten note. They're going to try something big. Be ready. No name. No signature. Just a warning. A city truck pulls up. Workers hop out, heading straight for my lights. Sorry, man. Got orders to remove them. HOA's pushing hard. I step onto my porch, calm. Ready. That's so. I pull out my phone, dialing the local news. Yeah, you'll want to bring cameras. They're doing it right now. Got it. We're cranking the tension to maximum. No slowing down, no mercy. This section is about user escalation as the HOA tightens the screws. The community starts fracturing, and our protagonist prepares for the final battle. This is war. A city truck idles in front of my house. 2 workers stand near my lawn, muttering, looking uneasy. Their supervisor, a tall guy with a clipboard, notices me on the porch and approaches. Look, man, we got an order from the HOA. They filed a report with the city. Said your lights are a public hazard. He air quotes the last part. A public hazard? What? They think Santa's gonna blind people. They want to remove them. We don't have a choice. A slow smile spreads across my face. I raise my phone, press record. Well, this is gonna be fun to explain to the local news. A beat. The supervisor pales. Wait, the news? Oh yeah, they're already on the way. And let me tell you, nothing gets more clicks than corrupt HOA bullshit. The workers exchange nervous glances. They know this isn't just a routine job anymore. Then SCRECH. A sleek black SUV pulls up. Calloway steps out, his suit too crisp, his smug face too punchable. What the hell do you think you're doing, Mason? Oh, just documenting your latest abuse of power. Smile. For the first time, Calloway hesitates. You're making a fucking scene. I lean in, voice deadly calm. No, Richard. I'm making a story. Calloway's jaw tightens. He turns to the workers, ice cold. Do your job. The workers glance between us, then step back. You know what? This is above my pay grade. They pack up and leave. Calloway's face reddens with fury. He clenches his fists, but I don't budge. For the first time, he knows he's losing control. A town hall-style HOA meeting unfolds in the community park. A few plastic chairs, a makeshift podium, and a group of increasingly pissed-off residents. Calloway stands in front, trying to control the narrative. We have rules for a reason. Order. Uniformity. And yet, some people think they're above that. He doesn't say my name, but his eyes burn into me from across the crowd. Then Frank, the retired firefighter, stands up. So, explain why your backyard fence is 6 feet when the limit is 5. Murmurs ripple through the crowd. Calloway flinches. That's irrelevant. Oh, but my Christmas lights are? The crowd is turning. I see neighbors whispering, glancing at Calloway, doubt creeping in. Then Karen, the HOA's diehard supporter, jumps in. The HOA exists to keep our property values high. If we let this slide, what's next? Pink flamingos? Broken down cars on front lawns? Anarchy. A few nods. But others don't. I don't care about property values. I care about fairness. A moment of silence. Calloway's losing the room. I step outside for air. The meeting was chaos. Lines were drawn, and tensions were high. The community is split in half. Then I see it. A small red tag on my porch. Final notice. Noncompliance will result in legal action. I inhale sharply. This isn't a fine. It's a direct threat. A low chuckle escapes me. I pull out my phone and dial my lawyer. Yeah, it's time. From the sidewalk, I watch Calloway's house. His lights are on. Inside, I can see him pacing, talking on the phone, probably planning his next move. He has no idea what's coming. I smile. Then, I send a final email. Got it. This is the moment everything explodes. No slowing down, no mercy. Just raw confrontation, public humiliation, and the ultimate takedown. This is where Calloway and the HOA get obliterated. A modest crowd of residents stands in front, most looking annoyed or confused. HOA board members sit in folding chairs on stage. Calloway dead center, smug as ever. But then, a new presence arrives. A local news van pulls up. A reporter and cameraman step out. They aren't here for small talk. Calloway sees them and visibly tenses. Who the hell invited the press? He turns his glare toward me. I just smirk and fold my arms. I did. A ripple is through the crowd. Calloway plasters on a fake smile as the reporter, Susan Carter, a sharp, no BS journalist, steps forward. She doesn't waste time. Mr. Calloway, we received reports that your HOA is engaging in selective enforcement and harassment of homeowners. Would you care to comment? Calloway chuckles, forced. He steps to the podium, sweating under the pressure. This is nonsense. We enforce community guidelines equally across all residents. That's a damn lie. The crowd murmurs. I step forward, holding up a stack of printed HOA violations, each one proving their corruption. You fine me for Christmas lights, but you ignored Mrs. Thompson's giant reindeer display. You threatened me with a lien. But Calloway himself has an unapproved fence and patio extension. Gasps. Eyes turn to Calloway. His smug expression cracks. Mr. Calloway, is this true? This is out of context. HOA regulations, page 13. No modifications exceeding 5 feet in backyard structures. Your fence is 6. People turn to look at Calloway. His face is now pure panic. Calloway abs at the mic, desperate. Listen, these claims are false. I raise my phone, tapping the screen. Oh yeah. Then let's roll the tape. A speaker clicks on. The HOA office recording plays loudly over the crowd. You want to play games? Fine. Let's fucking play. More gasps. Then laughter. People whisper, eyes widening. Calloway goes pale. Turn that off. Nah. I think people should hear how you threatened me, on record. Susan Carter lights up her mic. She's smelling blood. Mr. Calloway, are you aware that threatening homeowners with illegal liens is a violation of state housing laws? Calloway loses it. Oh, come on. Do you think anyone gives a shit about any guy whining over some damn Christmas lights? Silence. Then Frank, the retired firefighter, steps forward. It ain't about the lights, Richard. It's about you being a power-hungry prick. The crowd erupts. Calloway tries to talk over them, but it's done. People are yelling, pointing, and demanding answers. HOA board members are shifting uncomfortably. Some stand up and walk away. We just wanted to keep the community nice by bullying homeowners. Oh, and by the way, I've already filed an official complaint with the county. So Calloway, you might want to start lawyering up. A pin drop silence. Calloway's in color. The press cameras zoom in. He knows it. He's finished. Calloway is cornered. Reporters peppered him with questions. The crowd is turning hostile. Greg, already bolted. Mr. Calloway, will you be stepping down as HOA president? I need to consult with the board. What board? Half of them just quit. Calloway's face collapses. He looks around. Nobody's standing with him anymore. Pack your shit, Richard. You're done. The final blow. Calloway staggers back, his whole world crumbling. Got it. No mercy, no slowdown. This is the final victory lap. We're going to impact, full resolution, and make sure this war ends with Calloway buried, the HOA in ruins, and our protagonist standing tall. This is the aftermath of a battle won. A bitter wind howls through the now half-empty parking lot of the HOA office. The place looks like a ghost town. A for-lease sign is stuck on the window. A few scattered cars remain, but the dominance this place once had? Gone. I lean against my truck, sipping coffee, watching the last of the rats abandon ship. Then Calloway appears. He's hunched, disheveled, and wearing a crumpled suit that smells like failure. He clutches a cardboard box stuffed with office junk. A few papers slip out, scattering across the parking lot. Damn, Richard. Thought you'd at least go down swinging. Frank steps up beside me, arms crossed, enjoying the view. Go to hell, Frank. Nah, I like it here. No HOA. A few other neighbors watch from a distance. Nobody offers to help Calloway pick up his fallen papers. Nobody even acknowledges him. The once feared dictator? Just another guy with a box. Calloway climbs into his car, slams the door, and peels out of the lot. And just like that, he's gone. A petition sits on a table outside my house. The header is bold and underlined. People sign one by one. Frank, the young mother from before. The old couple had been silent the entire time. A few weeks ago, they were afraid. Today, they're taking their neighborhood back. A shadow falls over the table. I look up Karen, the HOA loyalist. She looks at the petition, then at me. Her jaw clenches. I should hate you for this. She grabs the pen and signs. But I hated him more. She walks away, leaving only the scratch of pen ink behind. The HOA bylaws, the same ones they weaponized against me, sit in a pile on my coffee table. The final notice they left? Ripped in half. I take a long breath. For the first time in months, the fight is over. A knock at the door. I open it to find Susan Carter, the reporter. One last interview. Only if you brought beer. She holds up a six-pack. We step inside. A holiday event unfolds. This time, without HOA control. Children laugh, lights sparkle, and a 12-foot inflatable Santa stands proudly in the center of the irony. Mrs. Thompson put it up herself. I sip hot cocoa, watching the community finally enjoy their space, free from bullshit rules, fines, and threats. Then, Frank appears, nodding toward my house. Still can't believe you pulled it off. Me neither. He holds up a shiny new ornament, red and gold. It reads, Mason, the guy who killed the HOA. I stare at it. Then I laugh, shaking my head. You guys are never gonna let this go. Huh. Hell no. We clink mugs, a silent toast to victory. A TV screen flickers, showing a live news report. Susan Carter sits at a desk, smiling professionally. Tonight is a follow-up to our explosive HOA investigation. After a public scandal and legal complaints, Oak Ridge Estates HOA has been officially disbanded. Clips roll, footage of the community event, Calloway leaving the HOA office, neighbors signing the petition. We spoke with Mason Carter, the homeowner who started it all. A pre-recorded clip of me plays. I sit on my porch, smirking. It was never about Christmas lights. It was about standing up to bullies. And this time, we won.